The school bully has 2 tattoos on his collarbone. On the left is ENGSUB, and on the right is a motorcycle. He once publicly said the left is his life, and the right is his love, and the girl's name initials happen to be ENGSUB. The classmates have all secretly shipped them as a couple, and the girl did have a crush on the school bully for 3 years. The school bully, Xiaoheng, arranged a field of violets, preparing to confess to the girl with the beautiful collarbone. I like violets. Many people in the class know that. So the girl waited all night, full of joy. Finally, she couldn't help but run to the playground to find him. But she never expected to see. The police escorted Xiaoheng, covered in blood, into the car. As the girl ran to the side, he turned back to meet her tearful eyes, his eyes filled with sorrow. At that moment, the girl felt as if she had fallen into a valley. How could he be fighting at this juncture? His high school career. How could it end this way? Xiaoheng's 4 years in prison. Xi Shisheng counted down the days. Finally, he's getting out. Xi Shisheng told himself to be brave. The brothers from the team know Xiaoheng is coming out. Everyone's so excited. They set up a party at Twilight Club to give him old Lee's bad luck. Everyone's here, just waiting for tonight's main character. The private room was originally noisy, until the heavy glass door was pushed open. Xiaoheng came in. Everyone respectfully shouted, "Master Xiao," in unison. Xiaoheng waved his hand, signaling them to sit down. He walked to the head of the table, and leaned lazily on the leather sofa. His long legs were casually placed on the glass table in front of him. He lit a cigarette. His face alone was enough to attract attention. Coupled with his arrogant and uninhibited demeanor, he was simply walking hormones. Xiaoheng's energy goes well with this kind of place, unrestrained and wild, growing freely. The hostesses in the club are all starting to get excited because of Xiaoheng's appearance. Those who entered the industry early have heard of Xiaoheng's name. Who doesn't know that Master Xiao of Beijing spends money like water? The important thing is, who can withstand that wild energy? If someone catches his eye, their life will be incredible. But he has a bad temper, with suppressed strength. His aura is intimidating. It forcefully drives these girls away. Although Xiaoheng is a regular in nightclubs, but he's the kind who flits through a garden of flowers, never letting a petal touch him. Xiaoyang, do me the honor of having a drink. The one speaking is a girl in a revealing tank top. She's not old, and looks pretty innocent. He's holding a glass in his right hand, and his left hand boldly reaches slowly to Xiaoheng's shoulder. Spin. Xiaomai's nails are particularly dazzling on his black clothes. The other girls saw him, and boldly approached Xiaoheng. They also sat down next to him. Xiaoheng glanced at him wearily, silently telling him to get the hell away from him. His smell is offensive to me. The perfume on women in this kind of place is so strong it's offensive. Xiaoheng feels nauseous smelling it. All he sees is swirling smoke. His face, with its distinct contours, seems both real and unreal in the shifting smoke. After hearing Xiaoheng's words, the men in the private room burst into unrestrained laughter. Mr. Xiao is indeed Mr. Xiao. That's the top girl at Twilight. Even she can't catch Mr. Xiao's eye. Han Xiao also has his own rules. It's all fun and games, but I don't joke around with women who sell themselves. Hurry up and sit further away. Don't upset Xiao Yi. Someone got interested. He really wanted to know what kind of woman Xiaoheng liked. Xiaoheng, you have such high standards. What kind of girl could possibly catch your eye? Xiaoheng flicked the ash off his cigarette. The face that was cold, melancholic, and a bit arrogant immediately appeared in his mind. At this moment, in the Xie family mansion, the lights were off in Xie Shisheng's room. He sat cross-legged on the wool carpet in front of the French window. The dim yellow light in the garden shone through. He lowered his eyes and stared at his phone. The string of numbers in the address book was Yuan Yi's phone number. This was the only way he could contact Xiaoheng. Xiaoheng didn't have time to write in his yearbook back then. I didn't get a chance to get his contact information. I didn't even get to hear his confession. Xi Shisheng struggled in her heart, and finally made the call. He's waited hard these past 4 years. How many 4 years do you get in a lifetime? Love can't afford to wait. Yuan Yi was hugging and playing with Miss Ju. I heard my phone ring, and I felt a little disappointed. I saw it was a string of unknown numbers. Annoyed, I pressed the answer button and turned on the speakerphone. I put the phone on the table and said, "Hello." The noisy sound of a private room came into Xie Xi's ears from the telephone receiver. He could guess where it was. "Okay, I'm Xie Shisheng from Beijing International High School." Hearing this name, Xiaoheng next to me was suddenly stunned, like a general emerging from the TV. Who Xie Shisheng was, Yuan Yi wasn't unaware. She was the girl Xiaoheng had a crush on for 3 years in high school. That violet tree back then. He even accompanied Xiaoheng to buy it. His face was at a loss as he turned his head to look. I pointed at my phone to Xiaoheng beside me, who looked indifferent. His face held a wanton and unrestrained smile. He took a glass of wine from the side and tilted his head back, downing it all. Xiaoheng's large, well-jointed hand played with the glass, listening to their banter with a pale face, as if he never knew. Xie Shisheng, only he knows his own emotions. He looks calm on the surface, but his heart is already stormy. Hello, is this student Yuenya? Yuenya pushed away Miss Pei beside him, picked up the phone and answered, yes, it's me. Haruno Natsushi felt relieved when she heard Haruno's voice. As long as he could contact her, he would definitely be able to find Xiao. I'm sorry to bother you so late. I want to ask, do you know Xiao Heng's number? He was released from prison today, right? Yuenya was quite surprised to hear Xie Shisheng ask about Xiao Heng. Could it be that this girl is also interested in my Heng Jie? Oh, right, Heng Jie was released from prison today. Then can you give me his number? I need to talk to him. Yuenya scratched his head in embarrassment. Back then, Xiao Heng loved Xie Shisheng to death, but he didn't dare to disturb her. The love I've suppressed for 3 years, before it even had a chance to see the light of day, was replaced by imprisonment. If Xie Shisheng really does have feelings for Xiao Heng, then Yuan Yi naturally hopes that Xiao Heng can have a future with him. But Xiao Heng hasn't spoken. How dare he act on his own accord, before he could figure out how to tell Xie Shisheng. The phone in his hand was snatched away by Xiao Heng. After he hung up, he threw the phone heavily on the table. Then he turned around and continued drinking with people. His expression was normal. You couldn't read any emotion. He didn't say a word. Xie Shisheng listened to the phone. The receiver emitted a beep, beep, beep sound. His heart tightened. He failed to make a connection. Just as he was about to redial, a WeChat friend request popped up on the screen. The message said, Heng was holding orchids 4 years ago, ready to confess his feelings to you. If you also like him, come to Twilight Club. Xie Shisheng's question of many years finally got a definite answer. His hunch was right. Xiao Heng was going to confess to him on graduation day. He just likes him. Xie Shisheng immediately changed and went out. He ran into Xie Shichen. As soon as he came out of the room, Xie Shisheng saw him dressed neatly, looking rushed. He frowned and asked, Sheng, it's almost 12 o'clock. Where are you going? Meow Meow is drunk at the bar. I'll go pick him up. That's what best friends are for, to cover for you. Jiang Meow is currently lying in bed, sound asleep. Why did he run off? Got drunk again at the bar. This Jiang Meow is really a heavy drinker. A trace of worry flashed across Xie Shishun's face. I'll go with you. No need, Xie. His brain is working fast. He's actually not good at lying. He always stutters when he lies. He's heartbroken. Yeah, he's in a bad mood. He's ugly when he's drunk, so he can't let others see him. So you can't marry me. Just have the driver take me there. I'll be back soon after I take him home. You don't have to worry. After dealing with Xie Shicheng, he trotted out, got in the car. He chatted with Yuan Yi a lot on the way. Yuan Yi told him that Xiao Heng had been interested in him since the first year of high school. She still can't forget him even now. So he liked him back in high school too. So everything back then wasn't just his wishful thinking. All the love had traces. Arriving at Twilight Club, Xie Shisheng got out of the car and told the driver to wait for him at the entrance. He went in alone. It's not like he's never been to a place like this. Jiang Yumiao loved to party. Xie Shisheng often came here to pick up a drunken Jiang Yumiao to take him home. So he was quite familiar with the Dusk Club. As soon as he entered, he smelled the pungent alcohol, mixed with a strong tobacco smell. He couldn't help but frown. It never stops here. The dance floor is crowded. Xie Shisheng kisses Gaog. From the moment Xie Shisheng walked in, many men's eyes were fixed on him. He really hated the way those men looked him up and down. He quickly went upstairs, toward his backpack. Xie Shisheng stood at the door of the private room and took a deep breath. He mustered his courage and pushed open the heavy metal glass door. The noisy clamor inside flooded his ears. The eyes of the men and women in the private room looked at him in unison. Xie Shisheng stood at the door of the private room. In the dim light, when he appeared before Xiao Heng, with that cold and somber face, his breathing completely went haywire. After 4 years, he still looked like how he remembered him. He hadn't changed much. He'd shed the immaturity of his youth, and his features were refined and striking. Xie Shisheng at 22 is much more mature than when he was 16 or 17. His charming eyes are still affectionate and seductive. Yuan Yi glanced at Xiao Heng with a bit of guilt. He told Xie Shisheng the address without permission. He'll probably get a good scolding later. Damn, where did this fairy come from? Whoever comes is a guest. Hey, sis, come in and play with us. Some people in the booth are skipping class and slacking off, and some are brazenly making fun of Xie Shisheng. They are even whistling at him. They are all a bunch of cynical good-for-nothings. They all act this way when they see a pretty girl. He ignored the noisy, chaotic sounds in the booth, and fixed his gaze on Xiao Heng. Her voice was clear and ethereal as she called him Xiao Heng. Everyone in the room turned to look. All eyes fell on Xiao Heng. It seemed this little fairy had an agenda. She was looking for their boss as soon as she came in. He paused for a moment. Then he stood up from the sofa and walked towards her. The moment I got close to him, Xiao Heng smelled that familiar scent on him again. My heart was racing. He grabbed Xie Shisheng's wrist and pulled him to the emergency exit. The moment he closed the stairwell door, he blocked out the deafening music outside. Xiao Heng released Xie Shisheng's wrist. He rubbed his fingers together a couple of times, savoring the feel of the delicate skin. What do you want? He lowered his eyelids, avoiding eye contact with a nonchalant attitude. Xie Shisheng looked up at Xiao Heng, whom he hadn't seen in 4 years. His heart ached intensely. He has so much to say to him, but he doesn't know where to start. He tugs at his clothes, hesitant to speak. Do you remember me? I have a vague impression. Xie Shisheng, right? Xiao Heng slowly takes out a cigarette case from his pocket. He pulls one out, just about to light a cigarette. He realized he was standing next to him, so he put the lighter away again, holding the cigarette in his mouth unlit. Xiao Jia mentioned the marriage proposal to my father. He looked up at him with those clear, watery eyes. Xiao Heng had an indifferent attitude, as if it didn't concern him. He took the cigarette out of his mouth and licked the corner of his lips. I joke that my child is 2 years old. You have no chance. Not with him. I'll be shy with you in the next life. His ears are already completely red. Marry you. Are you willing? Xiao Heng frowned. Your breathing is erratic. If it were 4 years ago, he would definitely have agreed without hesitation. I just got out of prison. Do you know what a former convict is? You're a perfectly innocent young woman, wanting to get involved with me. He chuckled mockingly. You're in good shape. You must have no shortage of men who love you. Hearing Xie Shisheng call himself a labor camp convict, her heart ached with bitterness. Then you're a man too. Do you love me? Xiao Heng straightened up, then lowered his head and chuckled coldly. Where do you get your confidence? Xie Shisheng suddenly took 2 steps forward. Xiao Heng unconsciously stepped back, distancing himself from him. Seeing him retreat, he became unhappy. He took a big step towards him again, grabbing his clothes to prevent him from retreating again. The distance between them was very close. They could even hear each other's heartbeats. Xiao Heng smelled that faint, subtle fragrance on him again. His breathing gradually became heavier. His eyes darted around, afraid to look at him. He looked up into Xiao Heng's eyes, mustering his courage. He asked, one sentence at a time, about the graduation party 4 years ago. When you confessed with the Phalaenopsis orchid, was it to me? No, he answered very simply. Liar. Xie Shisheng's emotions were not affected by his words at all. Dare you look me in the eye and say that again? Do you think you're good looking? And narcissistically believe all men should like you? Xie Shisheng stared into his eyes, scrutinizing him intently. Suddenly, she laughed inappropriately, using her slender fingers, lightly tapping the spot on his chest. Xie Shisheng said, Xiao Heng, your heart is in turmoil. In the unusually quiet stairwell, Xie Shisheng, with a flushed face, bravely confessed his love to him. He swallowed. His Adam's apple bobbed up and down. Xie Shisheng was so close to him. He was afraid his defenses would collapse any second. Xiao Heng tried his best to stay awake. He was ignorant, but he couldn't and shouldn't be ignorant. Xie Shisheng is a snow lotus blooming on the Qianshan Mountains. Clean, noble, and spotless. Xiao Heng wouldn't let him get involved with himself. He is dirty, Xiao Heng. You like me too, don't you? He was hot and tense all over, desperately holding back. But his face still wore a carefree, rebellious air, with a hint of dominance in his eyes. No, Xie Shisheng, I don't believe you don't like me. Then why are you nervous? He licked the corner of his lips, and gave a soft hum. I'm a man and you're a woman. You're so close to me. Can't I have a physiological reaction? Xiao Heng, aren't you afraid of anything? Then why don't you dare to admit you like me? Xie Shisheng raised her clear, watery eyebrows, her eyes full of affection. Why won't you admit it? He looked at him with his long lashes, asking why he should admit it, word by word. Did he dare to admit it? The flamboyant and unrestrained Xiao Heng in high school would feel inferior in front of him, not to mention he's now an ex-convict. He dared not even dream of this bright and dazzling pearl. Xiao Heng put his hands in his pockets. He's pretending to be relaxed, acting all nonchalant. Who knows what the hell I'd admit? Admit that you like me. His eyes welled up with tears. Since you said the orchids at the graduation party weren't for me, then who were the flowers from? You, Xiao Heng, looked unnatural. You unconsciously clenched your teeth. How could he know that after every party in high school, you asked the class monitor to send me flowers in the name of the classmates? Isn't that right? Xiao Heng chuckled. So what? Does that mean I liked you? Xie Shisheng really is puzzled that the fearless and arrogant Master Xiao is actually a coward. He understands that Xiao Heng is doing it for his own good, but Xie Shisheng feels that Xiao Heng pushing him away means he has seen through his love. He presumptuously tries to sever their relationship, but his well-being depends on him being by his side. Xiao Heng, are you even a man? Admitting your feelings, it's not going to kill you. Even I, a girl, am braver than you. If you keep pretending, you're just being affected. Xiao Heng finally stopped denying it. He lowered his head and chuckled self-deprecatingly. You're right. I did like you in high school, but I don't like you anymore. I've always been promiscuous. There are so many girls I like. Did you see all those women in the booth just now? I like them all. You're just one of them. If it weren't for Xie Shisheng on the way here, having a chat with Yuan Yi, I'm afraid she'd be fooled by what he just said. No matter how heartless he sounds, Xie Shisheng won't believe you don't like me. It's because you feel you've been in prison, and feel you're not good enough for me. Now I'm telling you clearly, I don't care. I always believe love can overcome all difficulties. Xie Shisheng hooked Xiao Heng's clothes with his finger. His tone suddenly softened. I've waited for you for 4 years. Please don't push me away, okay? Xiao Heng swallowed. He forced himself to calm down. He loved him more than he loved himself. Xiao Heng always felt that he deserved a good match. It's just that the match wasn't him. His voice was faint and deep. Goodbye. I'm not worth it. Whether you're worth it is for me to decide. Her eyes revealed a stubbornness. What do you like about me? I've been to jail. I'm in my 20s and haven't achieved anything. Fighting, cars, nightclubs. I'm just a good-for-nothing bum. People even call me a bastard. They ask what you see in me. She shook her head. Tears welled up in her eyes. Just because I've accomplished nothing now doesn't mean it'll always be this way. You're only 22. Your life has just begun. Don't let bad things from the past hide you in the abyss forever. Okay. Xie Shisheng's heart clenched tightly. Her nose felt numb and sore. There was a sob in her voice. You're not a jerk. I won't allow you to say that about yourself. Xie Shisheng, I remember you being cold and aloof in high school. How come you're taking the initiative to cling to men now? What happened to your pride when you love someone deeply? What pride is left to speak of? Driving Sheng steps closer and closer to Xiao Heng. Xiao Heng retreated step by step. If this continues, the sound of his heartbeat will give him away sooner or later. Xiao Heng's back hit the wall. There was nowhere to retreat. Hu Ji rolled a knife down from above. He couldn't stand him being so close. He carefully observed his reaction. She suddenly chuckled inappropriately. She tiptoed and blew gently on his face. The warm breath fell on his face. Xiao Heng's heart seemed to skip a beat. Then it accelerated violently, like ribs cracking. A numb, electric feeling flowed through his body. Your acting is terrible. It doesn't look real at all. Xiao Yi, who's usually so aloof in front of others, is just a timid boy who likes him, but doesn't even dare to admit it. After all these years, he still only dares to play the secret crush game. On graduation day, they were originally going to confess and choose each other, but by accident, I buried this feeling for another 4 years. It was already 2 a.m. when Xie Shisheng returned from the dusk club. Before Xie Shisheng left, the last thing he said to Xiao Heng was, since you say you don't like me, then it doesn't matter. I'm now formally informing you that I'm going to pursue you. He's not struggling now. Does Xiao Heng actually like him or not? Whether he likes him or not. All liking. Doesn't it all start from not liking? Anyway, he's going to pursue him near the Xiajia Manor. Xie Shichun called. Xie Shichun quickly adjusted her emotions. She answered the phone. Brother, I'll be home soon. If you don't come back, I'm going to put up a missing person notice. Xie Shichun sat in the downstairs living room waiting for him. Jiang Yumi has been sent back. Xie Shisheng's heart trembled. If Xie Shichen hadn't mentioned it, I would have really forgotten about the Jiang Yumi Miao excuse. After picking up Miao Miao, I sent him home first, and then I came back. The next morning, Xie Shisheng woke up at a little after 6 o'clock. He didn't fall asleep at all last night. As soon as he closed his eyes, all I can see is Xiao Heng's face. Xiao Heng couldn't sleep either. After going back last night, I watched all of his performances from the past 4 years. Everything I could find online. I watched it all. I watched him step onto bigger and bigger stages. The light on him grew brighter and brighter. Back then, he was like a butterfly sprite. He flew into his heart and took root there. Yuan woke up groggily to go to the bathroom. The moment he stepped out of his room, he saw Xiao Heng in the living room. He looked up at the clock on the wall. Did it shock you so much you couldn't sleep, Heng? He came out and saw the living room projector was showing a video of Xie Shisheng's performance. Yuan Ye understood instantly. Heng, I said, why are you doing this to yourself? He's already taken the initiative to find you, and you still can't forget him. Then just be together. You just said harsh words and drove her away. Well, if you don't love her anymore, she can just leave. It doesn't matter. You don't understand. Xiao Heng hasn't spoken for a long time. His voice is low and rough. Okay, I don't understand. Then you can continue to wallow in your misery here. I'll wait for you to regret it. That morning at 8 o'clock, Xie Shisheng and Jiang Yumia sat under the manor's corridor, waiting for Fuqing to come. A black car drove hard into the manor. Fuqing got out of the car, with a strong look of fatigue on his face. What do you two grandmothers want me here for so early? I want you to be my advisor. Advise me on what? Let's see if she's aiming for Xiao Heng. I want to pursue him. Help me come up with ideas. Fuqing's strategy is impressive. With an incredulous expression. Xiao Heng, that ex-convict. Xie Shisheng raised his voice unhappily. He has a name. His name is Xiao Heng. Don't call him a prisoner. How could you possibly fancy Xiao Heng? That guy is even worse than me. He's not good enough for you. Fuqing looked confused. How are Xie Shisheng and Xiao Heng related? He never thought that Xiao Heng would be into him. Xie Shisheng told Fuqing the story between him and Xiao Heng. After listening, he cursed Xiao Heng as a bastard. You even went to him yesterday. How dare he reject you, a prodigy among prisoners? What did Xie Shisheng say? What if Xiaoheng really doesn't like me? Then I will definitely not have anything to do with him again. But we are clearly in love with each other. Why can't we be together? I've regretted it for so many years. I don't want to regret it for the rest of my life. Noticing that Xie Shishing's mood was down, Fu Qing sighed helplessly, knowing it's a dead end. You have to butt heads. Shibo Jiang patted his shoulder. Hey, I brought you here to be my strategist, not to lecture Sheng Sheng. Fu Chengwen rolled up his sleeves. Are you really going to pursue him? Of course. Anyway, you have to listen to me. While I may not be good at other things, when it comes to matters of the heart, no one in the entire capital is more knowledgeable than I. Fu Cheng began to spout his theories. Let me tell you, men are just one word, cheap. Jiang Yumiao couldn't help but laugh. So, you're self-aware, are you? Ignore him, we're talking business. Don't interrupt me, I'm telling you. No matter how hot you are, men who come on too strong are generally not valued. On the contrary, the more unattainable you are, the better he thinks you are, the more he imagines. Do you understand me? In plain terms, it's just 4 words, feigned indifference. With the two of them studying strategies at the Xie family manor for a morning, Xie Shisheng vaguely felt that Fu Cheng's method wasn't very reliable. Fu Cheng dropped him off at the entrance of the opera house. Before getting out of the car, he told Xie Shisheng to hold up his phone. I took a picture of myself driving. Although my face wasn't in it, it was enough to tell that a man was driving. Do as I say. Did you hear me? Will this method really work? Hearing Xie Shisheng's doubt, he said seriously, men are just cheap. You have to provoke him. Trust me, Cheng. Okay then. Xie Shisheng opens the car door and gets out. She walks towards the rehearsal room, editing her WeChat moments. From now on, I'm someone who gets picked up and dropped off by my boyfriend. The accompanying photo is the one I just took, set to be visible only to Yuan Yi. Yuan Yi happens to be browsing WeChat moments. He's shocked when he sees it. She has a boyfriend. Doesn't that mean Heng Jie has no chance? He immediately sent Xiaoheng a screenshot of Xie Shishing's moments. Heng Jie, this is what you get for being stubborn and not admitting it. Look at that. She already has a boyfriend. Xiaoheng looked at the screenshot of moments Yuan Yi sent. He chuckled. The little girl knows quite a lot. Trying to trick him, she confessed to him at 1 a.m. in the dim light. In the stairwell of the club. By noon, he had a girlfriend. By the afternoon, the post he made on WeChat, visible to police officers, didn't seem to have any effect. I was just about to ask Fu Qing what to do next. And this guy calls. Hey, I was just about to ask you. That WeChat post. It doesn't seem to have any effect on Xiaoheng. Since he saw the post and doesn't believe it, then let him see it in person. Sheng Sheng, there's a motorcycle race at Jingbei Back Mountain at 9 o'clock. Xiaoheng's grandson is participating. Unfortunately, Xiaoheng saw Xie living with another man with his own eyes. How could he not feel anything at all? Are you asking me to go with you to watch his race? Not to watch his race, to race with him. He came out of the theater door and saw the black luxury car parked at the door at a glance. Xie Shisheng opened the car door and got in. Fu Cheng's handsome racing suit was particularly eye-catching. Fu Cheng smiled slightly. How is it? Am I much more handsome than that guy Xiaoheng? Xie Shisheng held out her index finger. She gently shook it in front of Fu Cheng. Pouting, she said, in my opinion, he's not as good as Xiaoheng. You have no taste. Fu Cheng started the engine. He sat at the steering wheel and turned around. Xiaoheng's grandson hasn't touched a motorcycle in 4 years. He dares to race as soon as he comes out. Watch how I blow him away later. Wait until Xiaoheng sees his white moonlight of many years, being with his mortal enemy. His face must be so ugly. Just thinking about it excites me. Don't get too involved. Who is with you? Besides, I believe in Xiaoheng. If he dares to participate in this competition, it means he's confident he can win. Fu Cheng, stop talking nonsense. You're being ridiculous. I bet Xiaoheng will definitely lose tonight. By the way, Sheng Sheng, when you see Xiaoheng later, you have to hold back. You have to pretend that you've fallen in love with someone else. You have to make him anxious. Got it? I still think his method is not very reliable. Will Xiaoheng believe it? Aren't you guessing that he still misses you? If he sees you with another man, he will definitely be jealous. Only by stimulating him will he face his true feelings. Then he'll come crawling back to apologize to you, begging you to give him another chance. Fu Cheng looked so smug. I'm telling you, this is a win-win. You see, if you pretend to be my girlfriend, it can stimulate him, make him regret rejecting you, and I can show off in front of that grandson of a bitch. What a great idea. Fu Cheng has only one goal. That is to exhaust Xiaoheng. Xiaoheng was in jail for 4 years. It's inevitable that he's rusty after not riding for years. His temper also just flared up, so he went to participate in a spontaneously organized motorcycle race. This competition doesn't have that many rules. It's a single ball thrill. The competition venue is located in the back hills of Jingbei. At the off-road motorcycle racetrack, Xiaoheng used to race on that track often. His Aston Martin, ostentatiously parked by the racetrack. He gets out of the car. His chiseled face was full of arrogance. He wore a black and red racing suit. He was 187 centimeters tall. His figure was absolutely perfect. Incredibly cool. There were a lot of people at the racetrack. They were all there for Xiao Heng. After getting out of the car, he leaned lazily against the door. He took out a cigarette from the pack and lit it, loosely holding it in his mouth. He exuded a rebellious air. Just as Xiao Heng arrived, a black jeep drove in right behind him. It's Fu Cheng's car. Fu Cheng saw Xiao Heng standing there, and deliberately flashed his high beams at him. Sitting in the passenger seat, Sergeant Sheng Tai Jian, with Tomoshiro grinning mischievously next to him, knew he was doing it on purpose. He raised his hand and hit him on the shoulder. Are you crazy? Tomoshiro opened the door, and got out of the car. He reached out to Sergeant Sheng and whispered, Xiao Heng is watching. Keep calm and make it look real. Yuan Yi excitedly shouted, Brother Peng. Shi Sheng got out of the car. Xiao Heng lifted his eyelids. He watched Fu Cheng hold his hand. Suddenly he felt like something was stabbing him in the eye. Shi Sheng saw Xiao Heng out of the corner of his eye. Sure enough, he saw him get out of Fu Cheng's car. The look on his face changed. Fu Cheng put his arm around his shoulders, walking towards Xiao Heng, a wanton smile on his face. Shi Sheng was very nervous, but he disguised it well on his face. He met Xiao Heng's cold, deep gaze without flinching, as if he was saying, don't you dislike it? Don't you care? What does it matter to you who I'm with? Fu Cheng mocked Xiao Heng. Oh, isn't this Master Xiao? After spending 4 years in jail, sewing, your skills must be top-notch by now, right? Xiao Heng's gaze swept over him, unmoved by Fu Cheng's words. Of course. The sewing machine I use can not only sew clothes, but also sew mouths shut. Those two can't stand each other. They fight whenever they meet. I haven't even settled the score with him for flashing his headlights at me. And, now he dares to put his dirty paws on Xie Shishing's shoulder, on my arm. Feels like it's been 4 years since I was last hit. Guess my skin is itching for it. Forgot to introduce you to my girlfriend, Xie Shishing, principal dancer at the Beijing Opera and Dance Theatre, known as the modern-day Chang'e. You all know her, right? Fu Cheng deliberately waved the bayberry at Xiao Heng. You and my girlfriend seem to be high school classmates. You two should be pretty familiar with each other, right? Not familiar, don't know her. Xiao Heng threw the cigarette in his hand on the ground, and crushed it hard with his foot. Yuan Yi watched from the side and couldn't help but sigh inwardly. What he's crushing isn't a cigarette. It's clearly Fu Cheng's head. Hearing Xiao Heng say he was unfamiliar, his heart ached. It's like Xiao Heng won't budge. He swallowed his pride and confessed to him, but he didn't accept it. Now he sees him with someone else, and he pretends not to care. Xiao Heng is so smooth, unfamiliar, huh? Then you'll pay for that statement. A row of motorcycles is parked at the starting line. Xiao Heng's car is lined up with Fu Cheng's. Fu Cheng is determined to win this championship. Since Xiao Heng went to jail, few people can beat him. He thinks Xiao Heng has been in prison for 4 years. He hasn't touched a car. No matter how good he is, there's no way he can get back to his old form right after getting out of prison. All the racers are at their respective tracks. They are grabbing their gloves from the cars and putting them on. Everyone's getting ready. Shisheng is looking at Xiao Heng's lazy and unruly appearance. Thinking of what he just said, I felt a dull ache in my heart. He ran to Fu Cheng's side, took the gloves from his hand, and helped him put them on with special care. Fu Cheng was startled by his actions, and out of the corner of his eye, he saw Xiao Hu looking over from Zheng Chao's direction. Suddenly, he understood. Xiao Heng paused his movements, hesitating for half a second. He licked his teeth with his tongue, silently scrutinizing. He shifted his gaze, his eyelids tinged with a somber tone. He watched Xie Shisheng help Fu Cheng put on gloves. Xiao Heng was gritting his back teeth. It feels great to have a girlfriend. I don't even have to put on my own gloves. You're being so naughty. He raised the gloved hand, and waved it at Xiao Heng. Xiao Heng's voice was low, suppressing an emotion. I hope on the track later, you can smile so happily too. Xie Shisheng helps Fu Cheng put on gloves, but his eyes are fixed on Xiao Heng, not missing any of his expressions. He curled the corners of his lips slightly. He could hear it. The sentence just now was clearly full of jealousy. He's just pretending to be Xie Shisheng. I want to see how long he can keep this up. He picked up Fu Cheng's helmet, and waved it at him, signaling him to bend down. Fu Cheng bent over, looking at Xiao Heng's displeased expression. He felt so damn good. Xiao Heng's face was so gloomy you could wring water out of it. This little girl is giving him a stomach ache. He raised his hand and put on his helmet. He pressed down the goggles heavily. A crisp sound. The click was mixed with his countless jealousy. It's been 4 years since I touched this car. Will it even start? Why don't you call me grandpa a couple of times? I'll give you half a lap. Fu Cheng was mocking Heng. Xiao Heng ignored him. He snorted dismissively, not to mention 4 years. Even if I don't touch a car for 10 years, Fu Cheng, that son of a bitch, can't beat me. As the referee gave the order, the roar of engines pierced the sky. The racers in their racing suits are all ready to go. The roaring of the motorcycles is like a wild beast roaring in the mountains. Yuan Yi and his teammates cheer for Xiao Heng. The racers on the track are twisting the throttle hard. One motorcycle after another shoots into the track, like flying swords. Almost a blur, Xiao Heng takes the lead. He's crouching low, like a tiger descending the mountain. He's left the other competitors behind. Fu Cheng is right behind him. The distance between them is very close. As they go through the first turn, Xiao Heng picked up 2 gears. Then he opened the throttle and drifted out of the corner. He still maintained the leading speed into the guidance. Behind him, a racer during the turn flew off the track with both man and car. It was a terrible crash. Xie Shisheng was shocked to see it. He frowned. That crash must have hurt a lot. Fu Cheng is still tailing him very closely. Fu Cheng wants to cut in from the inside, but Xiao Heng doesn't give him any chance at all. The audience outside the track is watching this race against time. They are also thrilled and nervous. The driver clenched his hands tightly. He's nervous for Xiao Heng. Last lap, Xiao Heng didn't slow down. At the last turn, he leaned the motorcycle towards the ground. The body of the bike was almost completely touching the ground. This angle and this speed are extremely dangerous. Yuan Yejin's eyes widened. Xiao Heng is out of his mind. He dares to accelerate through the turn. All the spectators are worried about Xiao Heng. My fingernails were digging deep into my flesh as I clenched my fists, but I couldn't even feel the pain. My whole heart was clenching. Unexpectedly, he made a perfect turn, leaving Fu Cheng far behind. The audience outside the track howled with excitement. Xiao Heng truly lives up to his name. The king of the racetrack is always the king. The Vice City Lord, left behind by Xiao Heng, cursed under his breath. Xiao Heng drives like a maniac. He can't compete with someone like that. Xiao Heng left everyone in the dust. Suddenly accelerating, he crossed the finish line. Cheers pierced the sky. Yuan Yi and the others screamed at the top of their lungs, shouting, Xiao Heng is awesome. Xie Shisheng finally breathed a sigh of relief. Watching him cross the finish line, a faint smile appeared on his face. After the race, Xiao Heng took off his helmet and raised his chin at Fu Chengyang, who came in second. He had the air of a champion. His eyebrows and eyes were full of provocation. He was acting like he owned the place. He gave Fu Cheng a thumbs up, then turned it upside down. His arrogance extremely blatant. Fu Cheng's face darkened. He took off his helmet irritably and threw it aside. He really felt something was off. Xiao Heng spent 4 years in prison. How could his driving skills still be so awesome? I didn't know Old Li let you ride motorcycles. Are you convinced? Xiao Heng slightly tugged at the corners of his mouth. Fu Cheng's face was filled with dissatisfaction. But losing is losing, he stubbornly said, feeling unhappy in his heart. It's just good luck. Xiao Heng's voice was languid, but he didn't accept it. It's okay, we have a long way to go anyway. Xiao, I'll make you admire me sooner or later. Fu Cheng paused, then reached out and put his arm around Xie Shisheng's shoulder. With a smug look on his face, I may be losing on the field, but I'm winning in love. With a beauty in my arms, what does winning or losing even matter? Xiao Heng's face instantly turned ugly. A fire was stirring in my heart. My eyes were full of displeasure. Fu Cheng really knows how to push my buttons. Yuan Ye looked at the atmosphere in front of him. He felt something was not quite right. If they keep bickering, these two might start fighting. Heng, let's go drinking to celebrate our victory. You're back on track for your first race. This calls for a good bottle of wine to celebrate. Okay, let's celebrate together. Fu Cheng, gather the team. Let's go celebrate too. Xiao Heng has hope in his eyes. You're a loser. What are you celebrating? Celebrating that I found a super beautiful girlfriend. We are both so arrogant. As night falls, Beijing indulges in extravagance and noise. Luxury cars gather in front of the Dusk Clubhouse. Xiao Heng's Aston Martin is parked directly in front of the entrance. He gets out of the car. Fu Cheng goes up and puts his arm around his shoulder. The bang startled me. I reflexively dodged to the side. Xiao Heng is watching. Fu Cheng tugged on my sleeve and pulled me back. Be more professional. No one would hire you as an actor like this. Fu Cheng put his arm around my shoulder, and we entered the club together. Xie Shisheng seemed uncomfortable. I'm telling you, if you want to catch Xiao Heng, this big fish, you have to be patient, and not lose your cool. When the club manager saw Xiao Heng, he became rich. He couldn't stop smiling. How much money would these two gods of wealth spend tonight? Xiao Heng glanced at Xie Shisheng and Fu Cheng, gritting his teeth. If Xiao doesn't mind, have a couple of drinks with us brothers. He wouldn't trust Xie Shisheng with Fu Cheng. Together, he needs to watch Fu Cheng closely. Okay, it's been a while since I had a late-night snack with you. Xiao Heng glanced at Yang Chun indifferently. There are many people today. Bring up all the wine I've stored. The manager nodded and bowed, leading the way. There are quite a few people from both teams. The boisterousness in the private room almost turned the place upside down. Xiao Heng leaned casually against the back of the sofa chair. His temperament is particularly suited to this kind of wine and women scene. Wild and unrestrained. Fu Cheng whispers in Xiao Heng's ear, I'll be rich in the next life. Xiao Heng doesn't react. Hurry, stimulate him. Only Xiao Heng himself knows if he's reacting. At this moment, watching Fu Cheng and Qing Enyu clinging to each other, he's about to drop dead. Shi Shen Wen glances at Xiao Heng's side. You're talking to Fu Cheng so easily, Cheng. How do you know him? The name Cheng entered Xiao Heng's ears. It was particularly jarring. Fu Cheng looked askance. Xiao Heng's face was mixed with anger. He felt secretly pleased. I met him in a fight. I remember you were his high school classmate. Don't you know him? Shi Sheng, Fen Chunqing Go. Mao Di Dai Xiao. She met Xiao Heng's narrow eyes. Not familiar, don't know him. Pay back in his own coin. He used the words he said at the racetrack. Return it to him intact. These words entered Xiao Heng's ears. He lowered his eyelids, his big hands, picked up the glass on the table, and tossed back a glass of wine. The liquor was so strong it made him frown. Jiang Sheng looked intently at Xiao Heng, to see how long he could keep pretending. Xiao Heng no longer looked at him, but just drank one cup after another, with an unspeakable emotion suppressed in him. Fu Cheng held a cigarette in his fingers, with a libertine smile on his face. Taya spoke to Shi Sheng. Look at Xiao Heng's pathetic look. He's such a coward. Just go for it if you like him. It's torturing myself and you. The way he looked at me was like he wanted to hack me to pieces. He didn't say anything. He just smiled at Fu Chengqin. These actions of his and Fu Cheng's, in Xiao Heng's eyes, were like tearing at his eardrums. He couldn't stand it. He couldn't stand it for a second.